Payroll increased by 372,000 jobs in June, but was it enough? Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing the major increase in payroll added in the month of June and what this means for the rising interest rates that the Federal Reserve will be coming out with here in another 2 weeks and 5 days. Could we see another 75 basis point rate hike, which would lead to a freezing of the economy, a constriction of the economy, which would make it much more difficult for Bitcoin to go through a rally? Or, since the Federal Reserve is seeing that payroll is continuing to increase, could they lower the interest rate hikes, allowing for an expansion of the economy and maybe a rally on Bitcoin? All of these different articles and numbers tie very closely into what's going on with the Bitcoin price and whether or not the Bitcoin bottom is in. So without much further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Non-farm payrolls increased by 372,000 jobs in June, more than quote-unquote expected. Non-farm payrolls in June increased by 372,000, topping the 250,000 most recent estimate. The unemployment rate remained at 3.6%. Average hourly earnings rose 5.1% from a year ago, a touch faster than estimates. Here's the problem with these statistics. First and foremost, the 250,000 jobs estimate was by Dow Jones, but the thing is, Dow Jones had a much higher jobs or increase estimate originally that they then dropped several times down to 250,000. They obviously want it to look like job growth is doing very well because Dow Jones has the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the stock exchange. So they naturally want the economy to look like it's doing very well so that people invest in the stocks. The next thing that I call into question is 3.6%. I don't believe for a second that we're at 3.6% unemployment. There are so many people sitting out of work right now, either one, because they can't find a job, two, because they can't afford gas to go to the job, three, because the job that they are trying to apply for is not open, or four, because they quit their job because they don't like their job, and either they're sitting on their hands not working because they don't want to and they can get away with it, or there's also plenty of people that can't find a job where their boss is going to treat them fairly. The unemployment rate is a complete farce, and 3.6% is a joke. The next thing I'll call into question that's not all that good, because this article seems like it's positive, and today is Positive Friday. We should be happy that new jobs are being created. However, this is just not very good. Average hourly earnings rose 5.1% from a year ago, but if you'll remember, inflation came out at 8.6%. It's about to come out next Wednesday, and it'll probably be somewhere around 8.6%, maybe even all the way up to 9%, which means that the increase in hourly earnings is not keeping up with the CPI inflation data that's been reported, which in and of itself is not even reporting actual inflation, because I think CPI data are manipulated to the downside. So this number is manipulated, this number is false, and this number just plain sucks. However, the Federal Reserve doesn't really seem to look below the hood in the way that I just did, and they just look and say, okay, look, there's 372,000 new jobs. It looked like we were going into a recession. Well, now we got a bunch of new jobs that just came in, so maybe we're not going into a recession. Maybe we can continue raising rates. And that's where this tool over on investing.com comes in. You can see that the next Federal Reserve rate decision will be on July 27th, which is in 2 weeks and 5 days from now. The current interest rate, as you can see, is 1.75% for the U.S. Federal Reserve and the U.S. dollar. They hold with a 96% probability currently, this is the CME, by the way, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, with a 96% probability that the rate will be increased to 2.25 to 2.5%. You actually take the lower number here, so they're predicting a 50 basis point rate hike, which is lower than last month's 75 basis point rate hike. If that were to occur and we were to see only a 50 basis point rate hike, then that could lead to people start moving into the Bitcoin market because money has not become more expensive as quickly as it was, and interest rate hikes have slowed down. You see, the Federal Reserve wants to curtail rampant inflation as quickly as they possibly can. But if they see that the jobs are continuing to move to the upside, but at the same time they see that GDP growth is going down, then they're caught between a rock and a hard place. Either they can continue to increase rates, which constricts the economy, slows down inflation, but at the same time can lead to a recession and also to negative jobs growth, or they can not raise rates, allow for the economy to continue expanding, but inflation continues moving. What the Federal Reserve does here in the next couple of weeks with that rate hike is going to be crucial to the price action of Bitcoin. I personally think that things are going to get worse before they get better, but I do also think that there is a strong argument to be made that the price bottom for Bitcoin is either in or is very close. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this data down below. Do you think 372,000 jobs were actually really created? Do you agree with 3.6% unemployment? Do you agree with the fact that whenever you're seeing 8.6% inflation and 5.1% average hourly earnings rate, that means that people can't afford things as well, and that's leading to the degradation of the economy, making it harder to invest in Bitcoin. Love to hear your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that post notification bell, and make sure to stay tuned for some great content we got coming out over the weekend. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Look at this guy.
He watched the entire video.
What a cool guy.
I think the next thing that he wants to do is hit the like button and then probably even subscribe to the channel.
And perhaps even comment down below what he thought.
That would be pretty cool.
Wow, what a cool guy.